Simon Jack, BBC News, Rotterdam.
Well, let's talk this through with Dr. Deborah Brosnan, who's president of the environmental consultancy Deborah Brosnan and Associates. Good morning to you. So my colleague Simon Jack's report there clearly illustrating the challenge facing the likes of Shell, many other huge organisations within the fossil fuel industry. Give us your reaction to this commitment at COP26 that 190 nations, organisations pledging to quit coal. Your thoughts on that to begin with?
I think it's a wonderful start because we do need to reduce our dependence on coal. The question is, can we do it quickly enough? Can we do it fast enough in order to keep temperatures at below 1.5 or below 2? I think that's critical. We did not see the US sign up for it. We didn't see China sign up. We didn't see India sign up for it. So clearly, I think the world has a great appetite to move towards renewables, to move away from coal. The question is, how are we going to get there while we still can maintain our trade and commerce, our quality of life, heat our homes?
I mean, that was just about what I was going to say, Deborah, because, you know, some of those huge economies that are coal dependent, you've mentioned, you know, the US, China, India, Australia, none of them signed up to this pledge. And it is a pledge. And that's the worry, isn't it, for many, that once we all move away from Glasgow, the day-to-day life kicks in again. We're looking at a recovery from a, you know, an era of COVID. Will those pledges become a reality?
I'm afraid that many of them won't. What we saw in the recovery from COVID, I think, has shocked many of us, which is, as you've noticed, the use of coal has gone way up. We've had an energy shortage. And the only thing we can turn to are fossil fuels right now in order to be able to meet that demand. The value of COP26 is that it is highlighting the importance of taking action rapidly on climate change. But the problem is that we can all make pledges, and all countries are making pledges with the best will in the world. But what we've seen repeatedly in the last 26 years is that these pledges have no action associated with them. They have no accountability, and therefore they don't happen.
So do we need to see governments, you know, having to enforce some of these measures then and actually say we are going to make this a legal requirement?
Yes, I think we do. Well, we absolutely do. We need to find ways to hold governments accountable for the pledges that they make, and also to make companies accountable for the pledges that they make, and to have a legal way of doing this. Now, we're seeing in other industries, the SEC, for instance, in the US and the EU and the UK stock market, demand that companies start being more transparent in their climate risk and climate impacts. But we do need to see more governments bring in more regulation, and we need to see more accountability for governments themselves.
In terms of, you know, China, the US, the world's two biggest economies, moving away from coal, what do you think needs to happen for that to happen?
I think what's happening in the US now is very hopeful. Biden's plan, which now includes $500 billion for investment in renewable energies, which would give incentives as much as accountability to and credits to companies that are moving towards renewables, to the development of new renewables. I think we're going to see a big push there. Is a great way to start the transition. The question is, will it happen fast enough? And as we've seen already, he's not getting all the support that he needs to pass that through, so that we do have some pushback.
OK. Dr. Deborah Brosnan, thank you for your time, your expertise this morning.